Ruslan.
Let's talk about something that I think is important. At what point does the idea that a song made by a Christian taking off and doing well is somehow incongruent or inconsistent with the Christians, every Christian's greater commission to go out and make disciples? If a Christian starts a business and they make chicken sandwiches, and those chicken sandwiches are the firest chicken sandwiches in the entire state. And then those chicken sandwich restaurants go on to have more chicken sandwich restaurants. And then all of a sudden it becomes one of the biggest chains. And out of their relationship and overflow with God, they start training and equipping people to be good leaders. And they plant hundreds and thousands of restaurants because they make a fire chicken sandwich. And they even give people Sundays off. And it's not that you walk into this place and there's the gospel being preached by everybody behind the counter, but it's obvious that if you know anything, it's a Christian establishment. They have Sundays off, there's worship instrumental playing, and it's by and large, it's pretty clear what they're about, right? I'm talking about Chick-fil-A, by the way, in case you didn't know. The owners of Chick-fil-A are worth over $1 billion. Why, would we not celebrate that and say, yo, a Christian did something amazing? That's dope. They made a dope chicken sandwich. They added value to the marketplace. Why would we not celebrate that? That's my first question. And then why would we assume that that is now incongruent with the gospel or with that owner being a Christian or with the values of that company, even if some people eat too many chicken sandwiches and get fat and get heart disease and die, right? Because that does happen. It does it not? Right? Fire chicken sandwich, you can easily get addicted to it. Your freaking arteries can clog. You can cut years off your life if you eat those chicken sandwiches all day, every day. It could happen. If you drink the sweet tea all day, every day, it could happen. You can die, like straight up, like obesity, heart disease, still one of the biggest causes of death. I was just looking at this when comparing the numbers for the pandemic deaths. So, how would this be any different? How would this be any different? How would this be any different? Does Chick-fil-A not make some people overweight? Does some of y'all watching this eat a bit too much Chick-fil-A? Yeah, right? Can Chick-fil-A control the moderation and the intake of what people do with their product, or who comes in and enjoys Chick-fil-A? If some, OnlyFans thought takes a picture and is eating a sandwich and they repost not her twerking and eating a sandwich, but just her eating a sandwich, not knowing that she's an OnlyFans thought, and they reposted. Does that make Chick-fil-A complicit and guilty and encouraging the debauchery that comes with everything else that person co-signs? Just scales, in my opinion. So Andy saying, hey, the homie texted me that he was at the strip club. First of all, clearly he's in connection with someone that is not in the church. He's outside of the church. He's in a space that's far from God. That's kind of cool. Andy, who's a Christian, fairly solid, is connected to people who don't know Jesus. That's dope. Okay, so he's connected to people who don't know Jesus, and they're at the club and they hear the song and they text Andy and they acknowledge that Andy's song is being played in this environment, and Andy's like, yo, this is wild. My song is blowing up. That's cool. I don't see the difference. I really don't see the difference. I think we got to open up the Patreon Zoom calls. But I really don't see the difference. Honestly, I'm not trying to be facetious here. I think sometimes we just get very religious about this stuff, right? And then we start compartmentalizing and we start saying, no, this chicken sandwich is sacred. Ain't nothing sacred about a chicken sandwich. It's a chicken sandwich. It's a chicken sandwich. It's made by Christians, but it's a chicken sandwich. This song was consecrated onto the Lord. It's a song. It's a rap song. Okay? It's a rap song by Christians. Okay? I cheer for Truett Cathy for becoming a billionaire. In the same way, I celebrate that Andy Mineo and Lecrae's song is exploding. Why? How is this different? I don't think this is different. I really don't. I don't think this is different. I think this is some of our religiosity being mixed in and kind of influenced by it. And so those like legitimately my thoughts, but I do want to hear from some of you guys because I think there's some legitimate pushback. Maybe I'm missing it. Like maybe I got a blind spot in terms of this specific conversation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Patreon Zoom call. And if you want to call in and tell me what's on your mind, you can do that. Because I really am curious on what the deal is. And I'm going to go for about another 20, 30 minutes before I got to wrap. So yeah, I really am curious about why somebody would not think this is pretty dope. I think this is amazing. I think it's amazing. I think this should encourage those of you guys that are artists and creatives to show you how far God can take your art when you make good content, good music, and good product. Right? If someone can start a fried chicken sandwich business and become a billionaire multi-generationally, and Andy and Lecrae that do not come from wealth and do not come from millions of dollars can write a song that makes it all the way to the ends of the world, to the ends of the earth, literally, why would we not celebrate that? I don't get it. Like I really don't get it. And you know, again, I would be like, yo, that's cool. Like she, you know, so-and-so danced to it. Now, I'm not posting folks twerking to it. I'm not saying that. Like, don't get me twisted. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying like, yeah, Andy need to repost all the ratchet stuff going on to the song. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm curious on why this is an issue for you guys. I think it was a good analogy. I'm not trying to flex. But I think it was a fair analogy. It's not a perfect analogy. It's just an analogy. The analogies aren't perfect, right? But I think it's a good analogy. All right. I think it's a good analogy. By the way, speaking of making content, making stuff that's dope, me and Zach Sparazzo are almost done working on our course. However, there's a free course in the description, of free training with a PDF on how to discover your YouTube niche, your voice as a creator. And if you guys want to check that out, completely free in the description of this video.
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Joshua the King came down and bore it all. Yeah, conversations front of the fireplace. All of my mistakes, how do I erase? Wanna operate at a higher pace. Birth pains causing the body to dilate. On a first name basis with the worst pain facing. Moments in isolation. See, I was hoping I would do this to get more family time. A busy mind and worried heart, is this not where I reside? I subscribed that all that traveling wasn't doing well for my soul. Glad I never made it when my name went through the rumor mill. I suppose that the Lord knows I'd have failed. Instead I'm doing well at home, out my shell. Good book off the shelf, more dubs off the L's. I told Ray they ain't just gon' know us, they gon' know us well. Happy to have felt my way to success. With my family by my side, Lord knows what's next. Joshua the King came